Video 75, Article 1, Responsibility to the Public Area 8, both subcompetencies 8.1.1. Review the learning objectives for this video. Article 1 addresses the health educator's responsibility to the public, and this is the article I want you to pay the most attention to because it is the most foundational. Everything else in the Code of Ethics builds on this core obligation to protect and respect those who trust you with their health and personal information. The first principle is respect for autonomy. Individuals have the right to make their own health decisions, even when those decisions differ from what you might recommend. Your job is to provide accurate information, build skills, and create supportive environments, but you do not make health decisions for other people. Even when someone makes a choice you know is harmful, the ethical standard is clear. You inform, educate, and support, but you do not coerce. This can be challenging in practice because health educators naturally want to see positive outcomes, but respecting autonomy means accepting that individuals may choose differently than you would hope. The second principle is non-discrimination. You must serve all people without regard to race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, age, disability, socioeconomic status, or any other characteristic. This applies not only to who you serve, but also to how you design programs. If materials only feature one demographic group or are only accessible in English in a multilingual community, you may be violating this principle unintentionally. Non-discrimination requires proactive attention to equity in every aspect of program design and delivery. Third, informed consent is essential. Participants must receive clear information about purpose, procedures, risks, and benefits, and must agree voluntarily without pressure. This is not just a formality or a signature on a piece of paper. It is an ongoing process of communication and respect. Fourth, you must protect privacy and dignity since health information is deeply personal. People share sensitive details about their lives because they trust you, and betraying that trust damages not just your relationship, but the reputation of the entire profession. Finally, communicate honestly without exaggerating benefits or minimizing risks. These principles might seem straightforward, but applying them in real situations takes the kind of thoughtful judgment you are developing right now. One of the most important ethical tensions in health education is paternalism versus autonomy, and I want to spend some time here because understanding this tension is essential for both the exam and your daily practice. A paternalistic approach occurs when the health educator assumes they know what is best and makes decisions on behalf of the client. For example, a health educator might withhold information about harm reduction strategies for smokers because they do not want the client to think reduced smoking is acceptable. The health educator may have good intentions, wanting the client to quit entirely, but the result is that the client is denied the full range of options available to them. The problem is that paternalism strips the individual of their right to make informed choices. It treats the client as a passive recipient rather than an active decision maker. This is fundamentally at odds with the empowerment philosophy that underlies modern health education practice. An autonomy-respecting approach provides complete, accurate information and supports the client in making their own decision. This means presenting all available options, including harm reduction, and allowing the client to choose based on their own values, cultural context, and personal circumstances. The health educator serves as a guide and a resource, not a gatekeeper of information. For exam purposes, whenever a scenario presents an option where the health educator makes a decision for the client or withholds relevant information, that option is almost always wrong. The correct answer involves providing full information, offering meaningful choices, and supporting individual decision-making. There is one important exception to this principle that I want you to be aware of. If there is an immediate safety threat, such as child abuse, elder abuse, or a medical emergency, mandatory reporting laws override the principle of autonomy. These are legally defined situations where the obligation to protect someone from harm takes precedence. Outside those extreme situations, autonomy remains the guiding principle for all interactions with the people and communities you serve. You are building a really solid ethical foundation here. Informed consent deserves special attention because it connects to many exam scenarios and is one of the most practical ethical skills you will use throughout your career. I want to make sure you feel confident with every aspect of this. First, explain the purpose of the program or data collection in clear, straightforward language. Participants need to know why they are being asked to participate and what the goals of the program are. Do not use technical jargon or assume that participants understand professional terminology. Second, describe the procedures involved, including the time commitment, what activities will take place, and what will be expected of participants. Third, honestly describe potential risks and benefits. Many health educators fall short here by emphasizing benefits while downplaying risks. A stress management program involving group sharing could cause emotional discomfort, and that risk must be disclosed. A physical activity program could lead to muscle strain or injury, and that must be communicated as well. Fourth, participation must be voluntary with no pressure, no penalties for declining, and no rewards creating undue influence. In workplace settings where employers mandate attendance at wellness programs, participation in data collection within those programs must still be entirely voluntary. An employee should never feel that their job performance evaluation is connected to whether they completed a health survey. Fifth, use language your audience can understand. A consent form written at a college reading level is not truly informed consent if the community reads at a 6th grade level. Consider translating materials into the languages spoken by your community and having someone with appropriate literacy expertise review your documents. Finally, participants must be able to withdraw at any time without penalty or guilt. This right to withdraw is not just a statement on a form. It must be genuinely supported in practice through your words and actions throughout the entire program. You are learning to protect the people you serve, and that is one of the most important things you can do as a health education professional. Read the scenario stem aloud. Give students 30 seconds to consider options before advancing. The correct answer is B. The correct answer is B. Article 1 requires health educators to respect individual autonomy while providing accurate evidence-based information. This scenario is a classic example of balancing two important obligations, respecting individual choice and ensuring everyone in the room has access to accurate health information. Option A is paternalistic and disrespects the participant's autonomy by telling her what to do. Directing someone to take their medication immediately treats the participant as a passive recipient who must follow the educator's orders. Option C fails the ethical duty to communicate health information honestly. By ignoring the comment, the health educator allows other participants to potentially adopt an unproven supplement without understanding the lack of evidence, which could put their health at risk. Silence in this situation is not neutral. It is an ethical failure. Option D violates privacy by sharing the participant's health information with her physician without her knowledge or permission. Even if the health educator is concerned, going behind the participant's back undermines trust and violates confidentiality. The ethical approach in option B is to provide accurate, evidence-based information so the participant and the entire group can make informed decisions while clearly respecting that the ultimate choice belongs to each individual. Summarize the key takeaways